Pam here from StackSocial, back this week to talk about another really awesome product with you guys. Today we're actually changing it up a bit. So normally every week I come on and I'll have a physical product that we sell, and we'll kind of walk through it, and I'll show you how it works, what it does, what it looks like, what the packaging looks like. This week I thought it'd be interesting to talk about something that isn't a physical good that I can hold, but it's an online course. As a lot of you know from probably browsing the website, we have a lot of online courses. We have online courses from anything from photography to web development to server infrastructure, everything. And it's a huge part of what we really believe in. We strive to help people learn more and expand their knowledge base. And so I wanted today to talk a little bit about one of our online courses that I thought was really relevant given a lot of what's been going on this week. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about the complete iOS 10 developer course. I thought this was topical considering that iOS 10 is out as of, I believe, Tuesday. So if any of you out there are iPhone users or iOS users, you probably saw the notification and maybe opted into updating or not updating. But either way, whether you're somebody who really likes updating to the new iOS system or not, if you're a web developer, it's a really important thing for you to learn the new operating system, what kinds of new features there are, and more importantly, how to develop apps for it. So I wanted to talk a little bit just about what this course is, what's in it, who's the instructor, and why it's important. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about what you get. So this is the iOS 10 Complete Developer course. First off, it's a 30-hour bundle. So altogether, you get 30 hours of instruction, which is quite a bit if you think about how long it would take you to get through 30 hours of lectures. And it's also a lifetime of access, and that's super important because sometimes with e-learning or online courses, you get only a limited access, only access for a year or only access for 6 months. And if you're somebody who's trying to take it a little bit slow, and maybe this is just a hobby or just something you're trying to learn on the side, then maybe you don't want to be hindered by having to learn everything in a year or in 6 months. So lifetime access, super important. It means you can go at your own pace. So price point, super important also. $25, which isn't bad. It's for a lifetime, like I said, and it's 30 hours worth of content. And you can do $25 for just iOS 10, or if you want, we also offer a bundle that's all the iOS 10 courses as well as all the iOS 9 courses, and that's only $35. And that's important if you're somebody who's just trying to learn everything that you can. Obviously, you know that some people are not early adopters to new operating systems. They'll still have iOS 9 on their phone. So if you're trying to make an app truly for everyone who is on an OS device, you'll want to learn iOS 9 also. Now let's get into the really important stuff. What exactly are you going to be learning? That's the most important part, right? So obviously you'll learn everything about iOS 10 and how to develop apps for it, but what does that really mean? So first off, that means you'll get a basic understanding and advanced training on two things that are super important. One, Xcode 8. Now Xcode 8 is basically the software development tool used to create any iOS app. So that's important because that's kind of where you're going to be doing all of the nitty-gritty work for building an app. Also Swift 3. Now that's the coding language that Apple had developed for all of their devices. So those are both very important for you, obviously, to learn how to code anything for iOS 10, is learning those two things. So you'll get a basic understanding of those, as well as obviously there's a tailored lesson just on using those two, on using Xcode 8 and Swift 3. And then obviously as the course continues, you'll be using all of those skills to learn all of the advanced features and keep going through the course. You'll also learn how to build things for all of the iOS features that came out in iOS 10. This is awesome because the way it's broken down is there's three different lessons, and these 3 different lessons go over all of the advanced features that you can use in your app in iOS 10. So some of these features are ones that have always existed. For example, if you have an app and you want to, have people shake the phone and have something happen, then obviously that's something that you would want to learn how to do. Or let's say you want to build an app that uses maps. If you want to build an app that uses maps, then you obviously need to learn how to work with that feature. Then there's also a huge feature that came out in iOS 10 that's really awesome is Siri. So now Siri can work outside of just the native iOS apps. She can work with, let's say if you're somebody who's trying to develop an app like Uber, you can use Siri to open an app and do all of those types of things. And whatever app you're trying to build, you can leverage Siri to be more holistic, I suppose. Then also you'll learn all of the new features. You'll learn the Siri kit, Home kit. You can go create home screen widgets, which is something really cool. And also, so it'll teach you all of the different advanced features in iOS 10. But oftentimes, when you're learning something, it's easier to learn by actually creating something versus just kind of getting the lectures and the lessons. So that's where this course is really, really awesome, because it teaches you how to build basically existing apps. So it teaches you how to build clone apps. So it'll walk you through how to build like a clone Instagram, or an Uber clone, or a Tinder clone. And those are all really important because all of those apps, real life apps, use different features in iOS. For example, Uber uses the maps and GPS. And Tinder uses swiping, for example, as well as location, as well as a couple other things. Instagram uses the camera. So you essentially learn by doing, which I think is really useful and really beneficial with these kinds of web development courses, because the hard part is actually doing. It's easy to listen and understand conceptually, but it's a lot harder to actually execute. So you build I think almost up to 20 clone apps, or you can with this course, which is really cool. And then something really awesome that you get at the end as kind of a bonus is the instructor has a couple lessons on App Store submission, and as well as making an actual website for your app. So, obviously if you create an app, your work's not quite done yet. You still have to submit it to the App Store, which, can be a bit of a process if you've never done it before. And also, obviously, creating a website for your app, if you're truly trying to create an app that you want to market and have be used widely, then you'll want to create a website for it. So those are some really nice bonuses that you get, as well as all of the iOS 10 learning. And then you also get some awesome free bonuses. So this particular course comes with a couple freebies, which I think are really cool. You get 1 year of unlimited web hosting, which is really neat. You get 1,000 plus, I believe, app design assets. So this is like icons and different images that you might need, templated images you might need for your app. You also get $50 of AWS credit. And lastly, you get the instructor's ebook. So that's an awesome segue into our instructor. So the instructors are super important because they're obviously, if you're buying this course, it's 30 hours. You're essentially spending 30 hours with this instructor. So you want to make sure that there's somebody who's reputable, that you trust, that actually knows what they're doing, and that's going to set you up for success and make sure that they're teaching in a way that's tailored for both the beginning, the beginner who's never done this before, someone who maybe just needs a refresher, and then more into the advanced. So the instructor for this course is Rob Percival, and if you haven't heard of Rob Percival, Google him. He's been doing web development courses for 10 years, He is extremely good at what he does. There's actually, if you hit the link in the description for this video, it'll take you to the page for the course, and there's actually a preview video so you can see kind of what he looks like, and he's talking a little bit about the course. And he's awesome because he's been doing this for so long, and the feedback that we get from a lot of his courses is he really does take his time. A lot of online courses, oftentimes they just assume that you know a lot of things, especially with an iOS 10 course. It's not an introductory, iOS complete course. It's specific to iOS 10. So if this were, a course by any other instructor, they might assume that you already know Xcode 8. They might assume that you already have some experience with Swift. Rob Percival is awesome because he makes no assumptions, and he takes it slow and wants you to go at your own pace. That's really important because you want to make sure that, when you're doing these lessons, that you're taking your time and making sure that you're really mastering every lesson before you move on to the next one. And Rob Percival does a really, really good job with that and making sure that you're feeling comfortable with the course before you're moving on to the next thing. And that's also why I think it's really important and really great that this course is essentially learning by doing. He has you create apps, and he has you do all of these things that essentially teach you what he's talking about by doing it yourself. And he also offers all those free goodies, which is amazing, which, like I said, his ebook is included, which is How to Earn $10,000 While Learning the Code, which is a really good read and awesome. So that's a bit of an overview. There's a lot more, and what's awesome is if you click on the link and head over to the page, you can actually hover over, there's a little box that shows you what all of the different lessons are, and you can hit those. They're all drop downs, and they'll show you exactly what is being covered in every single lesson. So you know exactly what you're diving into before you purchase. And like I said, it's a lifetime of access, so 30 hours is a lot. It kind of doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're doing an hour every day, then that's a month. So and a lot of us can't even go that fast because you need to practice and make sure you master everything and all those sorts of things. So it's awesome that you get a lifetime of access, and it's only $25. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm an iPhone user, and I've already downloaded iOS 10, and it's amazing. There are so many things that you can do, and more importantly, there's so many ways that apps can now integrate even further into iOS. So I think this is an awesome course. I took a look at a couple of lessons, and they're really very well done. So take a look. If you have any questions, just put it in the comments, and we'll do our best to answer your questions and any inquiries or suggestions. So so take a look at the iOS 10 course and let me know what you guys think. Thanks. Have a great rest of your day.